What's up, everybody? Here to talk about today's General Hospital episode. Before I get into this episode, I gotta say some stuff about this. Say a couple things. First of all, this show has too many damn characters. Got introduced to a new character today. I'll talk about it a little bit later. But this show has too many damn characters. Time to do a little bit of it. Time to do a little bit of cutting. I'm just saying, it's time to just. I know this is probably not gonna happen, but because from what I hear, Ron Carlivati loves writing for a huge canvas. But anyway, um, and I've heard so far only well, we know Connie for sure. Only Connie and Ellie have been cut. It hasn't really officially been announced that Ellie has been cut, but the actress that plays her said at that fan club weekend that she doesn't know what's next for Ellie on GH. So, because apparently a fan asked her what's next for Ellie, and apparently she couldn't answer because she doesn't know. Um, I have an honest feel. I got a good feeling that she may have already been let go. They just haven't announced it yet. Anyway, so far I've only heard that Ellie and Connie have been let go. But like I said, this show has too many. Had like 50 million characters in just one episode. I'm exaggerating, true enough, but has that many characters in one episode alone. I mean, there's really, and some of these characters really don't serve much of a. I mean, some of them, of course, you gotta have your new characters to balance out because you can't. We know you can't just have a whole show with a whole bunch of vets. Excuse me. But anyway, you gotta have new characters to balance it out. But I don't. Why do they gotta have so many new characters at a certain time? But anyway, let's get into today's episode. Today's episode was actually pretty good. It's pretty decent. What do I even begin? There's so many damn characters in this episode. Let's start off with Felix and Spinelli. Walked into Kelly's and he was basically going to get it by a BLT. Actually, that kind of just makes me hungry for a BLT now. But anyway, he goes into Kelly's to get a BLT. And I don't know, what the hell do they do to them BLTs? That's like the most famous thing at Kelly's, the BLT. What the hell do they be showing them be putting the BLTs? But anyway, speaking of Sean, I haven't really seen him in forever either. But anyway, the actor's probably out just doing something else, doing another project. But anyway, yeah, Spinelli walked into Kelly's. He immediately starts talking to Felix. Felix basically tells Spinelli about this whole he wants to hire him to dig up information about Britt, and he wants to figure out who Britt's mother is and whatnot, and he basically needs Spinelli's PI help. And Spinelli, I'm glad they're going to his private investigator skills, but Spinelli's not really the best of private investigators without Sam, and we know Sam's hands are pretty much tied up right now. Her hands are pretty much tied up right now, so she can't really get into a full on case till she figures out her son's okay. But yeah, Spinelli agrees basically to take on Felix's case because of the whole Brad aspect and how Brad basically took Ellie's job as the top lab tech, and so Spinelli decides to take on the case and whatnot, and he's gonna do some digging up on Britt. But anyway, moving on from that, Maxie and Lulu had scenes today. They were basically sitting there talking about the baby or whatnot, and talking about how Spinelli basically helped Maxie out with the whole Lamaze class and whatnot, and how they're ready for the baby to get here and whatnot. And I'm wondering when are these chicks gonna have their babies? We got Britt pregnant, we got Maxie pregnant. I hear they're gonna have their babies around the same time. I also heard a big rumor about Maxie's gonna go into gonna go. I'm not trying to really. Well, actually, I am trying to spoil something. If you don't want to hear spoilers, you can skip along. I read a little rumor that says Maxie's going to have a seizure, suffer a seizure, and almost die during birth. But she's gonna have the baby. She's gonna turn out to be all right. But anyway, they were basically talking about that, and then out of nowhere, Derek Wells walks in. Connie's boss, the owner of Crimson's parent company. He comes in like he owns. Well, he kind of does own the place. Since he's Connie's boss, he kind of does own the place. He comes in, walks in, sits down at Connie's desk, and Maxie and Lulu basically like, "Who are you? Who are you?" He basically says, "I'm Derek Wells. I'm Connie's boss and whatnot." And he comes in, and so Maxie calls Connie, who was basically outside of Sonny's apartment, hearing all the dirt that Sonny and Morgan are talking about. And she's basically she gets a call from Maxie that Derek Wells is there, and she's basically trying to Connie immediately goes back to her office. And like I said, this is the beginning of the Connie exit storyline. This is just the beginning of her exit storyline. With this character coming to town is the beginning of her exit storyline. Anyway, Connie pleads to Derek. Derek basically says how basically making a list of basically making it a list of all the people that Connie should basically lay off or fire, and he basically says she's also gonna be fired too. But Connie basically tells him that she guarantees she's gonna find a story, and I already know what story she's gonna print. She's gonna print all the stuff that Morgan and Sonny were talking about and whatnot. And I'm gonna tell you something. I've been trying to shy away from spoilers and whatnot, but when you follow lots of people on Twitter that tweet out spoilers, and you got a lot of people following you that DM you certain spoilers, you kind of can't help but to read them. But anyway, Connie's gonna wind up reporting how the whole Franco not being Keith's father or whatnot. She's gonna print all that. And eventually everybody's gonna get pissed off at her, and Connie's gonna eventually die. But I don't know who's gonna kill. I know Connie's gonna get killed off. I don't know who's gonna kill her. There's rumors that she may kill herself, but anyway, but she promised today. Connie promised Derek that she is gonna, in fact, she's gonna give him a good story, and he basically says, "Well, if you don't give," basically, I think he gives like a deadline to basically have a decent story out, or he's gonna fire. They're gonna pull the plug on Crimson. Anyway, my first impressions on Derek Wells, he's a douchebag. But I actually pretty much, it's nothing. I mean, this is the first episode. I mean, the guy can act. I mean, he played Storm Logan on Days of Our Lives, on Bold and Beautiful. And I think he played on All My Children back in the day. I think he played a character that raped me. I wasn't watching All My Children back in the day. I'm not the biggest AMC fan. Hadn't really been watching much of the new stuff either. I'm not really the biggest AMC. I know what's going on All My Children. I know about the show, but I wasn't really the biggest fan of the show. But I think he was on there like a while, like back in the day. I think he raped the character Bianca or whatnot. But anyway, my first impressions of the character, he's decent. He's alright. And nothing really much wrong with him. He's alright. I'm gonna give the character a month to see if I really like him. It's just like his first episode. I mean, the guy can act true enough, but I'm gonna give the character a month to see if I like him. I hear he's all mysterious and whatnot. But anyway, what else happened on today's episode? I wasn't really here for none of the Patrick or Sabrina stuff. I'm not here for their relationship. That whole relationship is basically surrounded around Britt Westbourne, so I watched it live today, but I really didn't pay much attention to their scenes. But anyway, Britt and her mother, Britt was sitting still like from yesterday. She was sitting there telling her mother how she feels guilty about lying to all these people. How we know she knows that the baby isn't Patrick's. Hell, I'm gonna tell you this: the baby's probably not even Britt's either. Like I said, it's probably Lulu. I predicted like a while back that it was Lulu and Dante's. When Britt said she was pregnant, that the baby was Lulu and Dante's. I predicted that a while back, like, that it was Lulu and Dante's baby. One of their other fertilized eggs and whatnot. That's how Britt got pregnant. But anyway, I'm just ready for all that to be found out. And anyway, and actually the actress that plays Lulu, M. Rollins, she live tweeted during the show today, and she actually said that she hopes Britt's baby is hers. So she kind of gave it away. She kind of in a way gave it away. Like I said, I've been predicting that for a while, that Lulu and Dante's baby is the baby Britt's carrying. But anyway, it was some decent scenes between Dr. Olbrich and Britt today. She basically was sitting there telling her how Dr. Olbrich told Britt how it basically stay on course with the plan, how she has everything under control and whatnot. But yeah. back to the. I'm gonna cut back to that Derek Wells guy because I'm finna get ready to talk about Sonny and Morgan in a minute. But when dude was sitting there looking at a picture of Sonny and Connie, that kind of just that was weird to me. I have a feeling this guy isn't who we say he is. I think he's a mobster. I seriously think he's a underground mobster. I think he underground works for the mob. But anyway, that's just how I feel about it. From what I hear, a lot of people actually out there are saying that they think he's Sam's father. He doesn't look old enough to be Sam's father. I think the actor is 45 in real life. He's just 8 years older than Kelly Monaco. So I don't think they're gonna make him. Well, stranger things have happened, but if he turns out to be Sam's father, I don't know. I mean, we'll just see what happens. But anyway, let's talk about Morgan and Sonny. I was thoroughly impressed with Morgan, the actor that plays Morgan. He actually did a great job today. I mean, I know the guy can act true enough, but he actually won me over today with his performance. Um, he kind of has me rooting for Morgan because Morgan was basically a dumb person in my opinion. He was basically, in my opinion, an idiot. But anyway, but I understand. I mean, he basically flat out told Sonny how he feels, how Sonny always chose Michael over him. He always chose Michael over everybody. And how, because Morgan wants Sonny to basically keep quiet for him to keep quiet about Franco not being Kiki's father and whatnot. Because he told Sonny that Michael was into Kiki, and Sonny's basically like, if your brother Michael wants to have a chance with Kiki, really likes Kiki the way you say he does, maybe he should. He has a right to know that he actually has a right to know that they're not cousins. But anyway, and Morgan basically says so little Michael gets to have everything he wants, and how Morgan basically told Sonny that he believes that's the reason why he was sent off. He was sent away because he just felt like his parents didn't want in. Morgan really has all he really like seriously has all he has all right to feel that way. He has every right to feel that way because he basically says he never really even he never really spent many holidays with his family. All his holidays were basically in a dorm, either sitting in a dorm room or like with other people that weren't his family. So he basically said he never really felt like he was a part of that family. Sonny basically told him how he's sorry he felt that way, but he doesn't love Michael over and no parent really should love one child over another. But I'm gonna tell you this about Sonny. The reason Sonny is so favorited over Michael is because Sonny raised Michael was like the only one, and Morgan actually alluded to this, that Michael was not even Sonny's biological kid. He also said that how AJ had a right to know Michael was his son and whatnot, just like, well, because Sonny was trying to justify his right for saying that Kiki has a right to know Franco's not her father, and Morgan said something like AJ had a right to know Michael was his son and whatnot. And Sonny basically says how he was a father. He still thinks he's a better father than AJ. I'm like, Sonny, you never know how good a father AJ could have been to Michael because you kept Michael from AJ. I mean, you and Jason basically kept AJ from the boy. But anyway, but yeah, Sonny basically did basically raise Michael in a way. So that's why Sonny's like so favoritive over Michael because he's basically the only one of Sonny's kid that he raised, and because Jax practically raised Morgan. I mean, when Morgan was around, Jax practically raised him, and Alexis really never let Christina. Alexis didn't even really in a way, never let Christina around. She never let Christina around Sonny because she felt he was too dangerous. But anyway, but yeah, so like I said, I understand where all Morgan's frustrations coming from, but Sonny did break down. He flat out told Morgan that he's not gonna tell Kiki or Michael anything about her true paternity, so Morgan can go ahead and marry this girl. Now Michael and Kiki, I'm not here for that. I'm not really here for them today. One thing I will say about this. I knew Kiki never loved him. I knew she never loved Morgan. She basically was just with him. He basically was a crush on her and whatnot. But yet, I don't understand how she seems like she's so head over heels in love with Michael. But she's known Morgan longer than she knows Mike. She's known Michael. That's what I don't understand. But she said she'll learn to love Morgan. I'm like, I'm saying something. That's something you don't need to do. Never marry someone just because you feel you obligated to marry them. Just say that you'll learn to love them on down the line. That's unhealthy. That's unhealthy right there. That's not how you should run a relationship. But anyway, like I said, I'm over this whole. I'm over the whole Michael Morgan Kiki triangle. Um, Morgan on pair Morgan with somebody else. Hell, if you want to keep Ellie around, I wouldn't mind seeing Ellie and Morgan being paired. But anyway, I'm not really sure how old Ellie is, but I wouldn't mind seeing them paired. I think that'd be a decent pairing. But anyway, a lot of people on Twitter are saying that maybe they should pair Taylor with Morgan. I'm like, Taylor is more in the teen scene, and Morgan, excuse me, Morgan. They say Morgan's 19, but he's in college and Taylor's still in high school. I mean, that to me, that just if you're eight, I mean, she's not legal yet, so and I don't know anything about New York laws, but anyway, I just can't. I couldn't see Morgan and Taylor being together. If they do bring Lucy's daughter Christina on, that'd be decent. I mean, I don't know how old they're gonna make her. I think they're gonna put her in that teen set too, because I read some rumors / spoilers out there. That I think they're gonna have her in that set too. But anyway, let me know how you guys feel about GH today. Leave me a comment below. But anyway, as always, I hope you guys have a great day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace. God bless.